I'm going to preface this by saying it is April. It is the month of April, okay? Hitting the panic switch in April, I think, is ridiculous. But I do think that one thing you can do in April is you can point out flaws of a baseball team. Because the reality is every single team has flaws, even the Dodgers who ended up winning the World Series. They have flaws. When I look at the Philadelphia Phillies, and as I'm recording this, they had just lost 11-4 to the San Francisco Giants. You've got Aaron Nola doing Aaron Nola things, getting shelled. Kind of proving my point of why I retired from Aaron Nola starts. But my big issue with the team isn't Aaron Nola. Because Aaron Nola is a part of the rotation. And the rotation of the Phillies is good. You've got Wheeler. You've got Christopher Sanchez. Luzardo looks incredible. Ranger Suarez is coming back. Like, your rotation's good. But all this week and this past week, a lot of the talk has been about Alec Bohm. And maybe that's because Alec Bohm has struggled since the get-go of this season. Like, right out the gate, he was struggling. Compounded with the fact that in the postseason, he struggled. So a lot of the talking points from Phillies fans is what is going on with Alec Bohm. I get that. I do. But my issue is not with Alec Bohm. No. My issue is with the outfield. Because right now the Philadelphia Phillies have one outfielder. One. It's Nick Castellanos. That is it. That's their only outfielder. Brandon Marsh is hitting I'm sorry. I was about to say he's hitting a .198. He's hitting 98. Yeah. 98. Max Kepler went 2 for 4 on Tuesday to up his average to 245. That was kind of your big off-season free agent signing was Max Kepler. And this is now, I feel like, the second year in a row where the Phillies are going into what is the entire season with primarily one outfielder. Because you have those two, and then you've got Johan Rojas. And while I want to see more of Johan Rojas, and I've been a big Johan Rojas fan because I like his defense. I know it's not the greatest time to say it because last week he ended up costing them a game with an error. But I like his defense in center. I like his speed on the base pass, although I think he needs to go. But Brandon Marsh is horrible. And I've thought this for over a year now, that Brandon Marsh is what Brandon Marsh is at this point. Like, we know what he is. But it's kitschy. He's got a beard. Oh, my God. And Brandon Marsh reminds me of the line from Bull Durham where he says, if you win 20 games in the show and you have mold on your shower shoes, people will think you're colorful. I.e., if you're winning a baseball game and you're winning a lot of games and you're in first place and you're making the playoffs, people will think that Brandon Marsh is great because he's got a beard. But when you're not doing that, then it's like, yeah, beard's kind of stupid. I'm not saying that Brandon Marsh is struggling because of his beard. What I'm saying is Brandon Marsh has gotten a free pass because fans want Brandon Marsh to be good because look at him. He's kitschy. And Brandon Marsh has never been good. Ever. Every single team in baseball has a Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh would fit on perfectly with the Colorado Rockies. Like, he would be a great Sacramento A, or whatever they're calling themselves now. But on a contending baseball team, Brandon Marsh has no place. And you have to remember that when the Phillies traded Logan O'Hoppe for Brandon Marsh, he was a flamed-out former top prospect. He was a guy that had come up with the Angels, had struggled mightily, and really had lost his spot. And the Phillies traded Logan O'Hoppe for Brandon Marsh because they thought they could fix Brandon Marsh. He wasn't a proven commodity. It was, hey, Kevin Long, our hitting coach, thinks that he can fix this guy. And to his credit, when Brandon Marsh came over initially, he performed fairly decently. He was okay. And then the next season happened. And then the next, and it's like, he still can't hit lefties. They still won't even put him in against lefties. I don't like his defense in center. I like it in left, but I don't like it in center. So one of the big issues I have with the Phillies is they once again, second year in a row, where they're probably going to be looking for an outfielder at the deadline, but are they going to fully commit? Are they ready to actually punt on Brandon Marsh? And I don't think they are. And I think that's one of the biggest cruxes when it comes to a lot of front offices. It's not just baseball, it's all front offices. Where when they make a move for a guy, they're willing to give that guy long leeway because they, as the guy who made the move, whoever it may be, They want to be proven right. So they're willing to give him a pretty long leash. Whereas if they inherit a guy, well, I don't care if I get rid of him. And Dave Dombrowski made the move for Brandon Marsh. So he wants him to work out. Even though he still won't play him against lefties. Johan Rojas, it's like he's getting, what, a start every fourth day? Max Kepler, he can turn it around. No doubt he can turn it around. But the early returns haven't been good. And Nick Castellanos, for how good he's been, has been streaky in his career. Like in his Phillies career, it's like we all know that 1 month he'll be great, the next month he'll go cold. That's my problem. It is not Alec Bohm. It's not even Aaron Nola. Because I know what those two guys are at this point. You know, I tried to tell everybody 2 weeks ago, Aaron Nola is about to have a bad season. Historically speaking, when you look at his numbers, he's about to have a bad season. And so far, and I hope he turns it around. I hope I'm wrong. Hope I cold takes expose myself. But so far, he's been dreadful. He has been their worst pitcher. He's been worse than Taijuan Walker. You can't prove me otherwise. All the Kool-Aid drinkers about Aaron Nola, stop. And then Alec Bohm, I know what he is. Like, I know he's a good hitter. Now, unfortunately for Alec Bohm, ever since he's come up, he has dealt with criticism. Part of it is because of the fact that when you draft a guy third overall, you're expecting a superstar, and Alec Bohm just isn't that. Alec Bohm was a very good third baseman, but when you look at his career as a Philly, when he got called up, it was like constant criticism right at the gate. It started with the fact that he had no power. Then it went into he's a butcher at third base, and they're going to have to move him to first base. And then it went into, well, his RBIs, they're hollow, and, you know, he can't hit. And then it's the criticism, and he doesn't take criticism well. It's always something with Alec Bohm. Always. And there are just some athletes in the city of Philadelphia that they just never, like, for whatever reason, they never latch on. And I know that people will point to the I effing hate this place and how he was, you know, cheered the next game. But the reality is he gets a lot of criticism. A whole lot. And I'd argue he gets the most criticism out of everybody. We give Aaron Nola a pass, but Alec Bohm is like, we'll point to him. You know, kind of like a couple years ago when the Phillies lost to the Diamondbacks. What did people do? They pointed to the 9-hole hitter. Oh, yeah, Johan Rojas was the reason we lost. Like, stop. Come on. It's ridiculous. No, I'm not mad at Alec Bohm because Alec Bohm will get out of this. Alec Bohm is a good hitter. He'll prove to be a good hitter. He's in a rut right now. He'll be fine. But Brandon Marsh has never proven to be a good hitter. Ever. He's not good. He is a dime a dozen. You can find Brandon Marshes everywhere. But when you give up a guy like Logan O'Hoppe, that's the problem. Because they gave up Logan O'Hoppe because they had JT Realmuto locked up, and Logan O'Hoppe was on the way. Instead of going, oh, well, now maybe we can make a Logan O'Hoppe, JT Realmuto combo work, they didn't do that. Okay, fine. But they swung and they missed, and that's the issue. They swung, they missed, and they refused to admit it. And will it cost them? I have no idea. I think in Philadelphia we fail to recognize a lot of times that every team has holes. I mean, if you look at the lineup the Dodgers threw out on Tuesday night, their right fielder, their center fielder, their left fielder, it was like 240 and under. Kike Hernandez is hitting like $115. Max Muncy's hitting like $183. That's a team that won 100 games and everybody's just locking in as okay, World Series champions 2025. They've got holes. So the Phillies having holes is no shocker. But the fact that they once again have one real outfielder, that's not good. So here's what I would actually like to see happen, and I don't think it will happen, but this is what I'd like to see. I would like to see Bryce Harper go back to the outfield every once in a while. They need to use his versatility as a benefit, and they don't do it. He can play right, and if he can play right, he can play left. So put him in a corner outfield spot, okay? Put whatever one you want. You want to move Castellanos to left and put Bryce Harper in right? You want to put Bryce Harper in left and keep Castellanos right? Fine, whatever. I don't care. Then the question is, well, who plays first base? JT Realmuto can play first base. He can play first base. He's done it before. He can do it again. It'll be better on his knees, and there you go. I don't ever want to see a situation where JT Realmuto's bat is not in the lineup, but he's going to need a break because he plays a very demanding position at catcher. So how do you do that? You put him at first base. You put him at DH. Like this team and Rob Thompson, and I think Rob Thompson's done a great job. Hard to complain about the success that he's had since taking over the team. But no manager's perfect, and he's not any different. And the fact that he has yet to use Bryce Harper's versatility as a plus for this team is a problem, in my opinion. Will it change? No, I don't think it'll change. I think for the majority of the season, you're going to see a platoon of Brandon Marsh and Johan Rojas in center. If one of them goes down, maybe Justin Crawford comes up, but even if he does come up, how long will he play? Will he play every day? Will he play against lefties and righties? Like, we don't know. And then the Max Kepler thing. I think we are poised to see yet another deadline where Dave Dombrowski goes out and he gets an Austin Hayes type guy who is at one point an all-star, but he's not an all-star this year. And they kind of play him every once in a while, but not really. And then they go into the offseason, and it's the same thing. It should change. It's not going to. The Phillies have holes, no doubt. But is it time to panic? No, it's not time to panic. It's April. But this is a trend that is uncomfortable.